Sacred Na Akara. This is the Khom Akara Na in its most basic form. And I would just like to point out before I continue that this here shouldn't have a squirrel. It should be a completely enclosed circle. So I'll try again with a smaller point and show you once more like this. The knot itself has actually 5 elements, which are usually listed in a different order to how I'm going to do it now, because I'm going to name them in series according to how you draw the letter Na. So that would be Sira. This here would be Pinto. This here would be Tanta. This would be Peta. This would be Anko. Yeah. So that is the basis of the Khom letter Na. So we'll now go on to the 5 basic components of a Na, which is a small kind of sacred Yant. And if it doesn't have these 5 components in it, then it will be a Yant. Even if it's a small, simple, abbreviated yantra, many people would call that a sacred Na. It's actually not a Na unless it has all 5 components. So a new slide. We're on a new slide now, and we're going to now explain the 5 components of the sacred Na in order, not by drawing the Na, but in order of how it's taught. The Pinto. Secondly, the Tanta. And then the Peta. The Tanta goes to here, and this would be the Peta. This would be the Anko. And this would be the Sira. And as you can see, this looks like the traditional old school yantra, which I will draw it in a different order again. But actually I'll draw it in the same order to keep orderly. That the ancient yantra, the original Nat Yant is written like that. But in actual writing, it's usually written easily like this. And like Lumpur Pinat, whose famous amulets of the Paladkik Hua Chamot, Paladkik Hua Manod, and his famous Daunai Pon Daunai Pan star amulets, which have a 10 and or 8 or 10, 8, and I think 10 or 8 pointed star, 8 pointed star on one side and a 5 pointed star on the other side, which is a police and army star. Anyway, digressing. So this is the basic forms of Na. So from the left, we see here, this was actually considered to be a Yant, a real Na, a sacred Na, because it composes the Pinto, the Tanta, the Peta, the Anko, and the Sira. Pinto is number 1, Tanta number 2, Peta number 3, Anko number 4, and Sira number 5. So you have to find these 5 elements in all sacred Na. Otherwise, however simple it is, it's a Yant according to my Tamra, because I learned that all 5, according to the Tamra Grimoire of 108 Yant of Ajarn Orakin Wiryaburanat of the Samnak Pram Hengchat of the National Brahman the magical side of the national Brahman organism of Thailand. So a new slide now, and I'm going to show you how to make a nat with a unalom, which would be like this. Oh, sorry, I need my pen again. I'm using an app called Explain Everything. So here we go. I'm going to now draw a nat with the sira, then the pinto and the tanta and the peta and the ankle, and then come round here and do these yak, which means knots. 1, 2, which would be nat more, 3 would be put, 4 would be ta, 5 would be ya, and then go straight up. So that would be nat mo puttaya, or nat unalom, or nat meta. That's already your first yant. If you can draw the Khom character nat, the N, all characters, consonants have the vowel or sound, vocal sound A connected. So BGD would be bat, gat, dat. We say ABC, they say A, bat, cat. Yeah. And so now here's a sacred nat, which you don't recognize the letter nat in, with a pinto and a tanta and a peta and an ankle and a sira. That is a sacred nat, and some people would actually put a nat inside it like that if you want, or something else if you want. You could put a different letter inside. You could go here, the pat letter with a o, put, and then you could do the to. Would be nat putto, yeah. And we could also do a sacred nat with unalom like this, and then we could ma a u, yeah, which would be nat ma a u, nat. Very protective. The letter nat and the various applied, or what would you say, the law of correspondences, the corresponding magical meanings to the letter nat, and the actual Sanskrit grammatical use of it in Pali is a conversation and a lesson for itself. And it's worth knowing, because the nat is the heart of probably the most, it is most definitely the most used letter in all Yant and in the Khom language and in all magical kata. Begin with that. And so, just to move to my laser pointer, we have the nat, yeah, the ma, the a, and the u, yeah. So ma is mu maha samko, which means the sangha, the enlightened beings, be they stream enterers, once returners, never returners, or arahant Buddhas. A means arahang, which means the Buddha, or all enlightened beings. And U means uttamatammo, which means the Dharma, the nature of all things, or the teaching of the Buddha, which explain the nature of all things. So basically this is the triple gem, no? The Buddha, the Dhamma, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, yeah? With the Tuanat, with the Akarat Nat, Yant Nat, Unalom in the middle, or Nat Meta, yeah? And of course, Putto means Buddha, awake, Nat Putto, which is interesting because the legend says that as the Buddha, after his awakening, as he was going to find his 5 disciples to tell them about his awakening, that's a, that's a, put together with a double T here, the A and the R together is another vowel, a compound vowel. It's called O. So that is to, putto. Somebody saw him walking with the aura around him and bowed down to him and said, "Are you a god?" And the Buddha replied, "Na putto," which means, "No, I'm just awake. I just woke up," which I find pretty cool. And it demystifies the religious and the glitter and the Hollywoodism from it, and makes it much more accessible and real to you that actually he was a human being like yourself. And when he was asked, instead of some cryptic answer, "Nat putto," which you think of as a magical kata with some special power within it without understanding it, actually, "Nat putto" means, "No, actually, I just woke up, man, you know. Are you a god? No, man, I just woke up, that's all." Yeah, that's how you'd say it these days. In those days, he said, "Nat putto." So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this lesson of how to draw sacred Yant, sacred Nat, and to expand on how from the Nat you can then flourish and start to develop slowly but surely ever more complex Yant and add kata, and to show you the meaning within the Yant and the construction, and to learn about the 5 basic components of a sacred Nat, and to know that when you can't find them, then it is not a Nat, it is a Yant, which would mean, of course, that this here is a Yant. And this is both. It's a Nat because it has all 5 components, although you cannot see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. This is a super Nat because it really does compose everything. But this is a real Nat, so it also has, even though it's an angle instead of a circle, that is the pintu, and that is the tanta, and that is the peta, that is the anko, and that is the sira. So this is a Nat, but because it's a Nat unalom, you could also call it a Yant, Nat unalom. So it is a sacred Nat and a sacred Yant. Yeah, this is also a sacred Yant. Yeah. So, but this would be classified as a sacred Nat because it has all 5. And you only class it as a Yant when it does not possess all 5. So this can be classified as a sacred Nat. I classify it as a Yant because the shape of it is more contained by the akara than the actual little Nat in the middle, which has the 5 components. Yeah, so it obscures the 5 components. If the main design overshadows the rest, the 5 components, like here or here, then this is a sacred Nat. This is a sacred Nat, but this is a Yant, to be more accurate. It's all academics, because Nat and Yant are both the same Wicha, and it's just a way of, Nat is a name for the abbreviated small version with 5 components in it. And those which don't have 5 components and could be square or round and have multiple complex components in them, or even just a simple component, are Yant. So that's Ajarn Spencer with how to draw sacred Nat in Khom and School of Khom and Sakyant for the Sakyant Foundation channel on YouTube and Facebook page, and the Buddha Magic Project on buddhamagic.net and Facebook page, or I sometimes call it Buddha Magic TV. Ajarn Spencer, for both of those projects and for your enjoyment, signing off.